Hello friends, my name is Sunil Ranjan and I am an English teacher. Now in this video session I have come up with psychoanalytical approach to literature. Psychological approach to literature relates to method, concept or form influenced by the tradition of psychoanalysis begun by Sigmund Freud. There is a general consensus that literature is fundamentally connected to human consciousness. Psychoanalytical approach views writers as neurotic. However, they escape many of the outward manifestations of neurosis by finding in their literature a pathway back to rationality and wholeness. Psychoanalytical approach to literature depicts that a creative activity provides considerable relief from tension by a discharge of energy through socially acceptable channels. Such literary activities offer opportunities for expression of impulses of various kinds. Psychoanalytical observation explains why an individual turns to literature. Childhood experiences, fantasies, and daydreams, instead of being expressed in an unchannelized manner, are expressed through art literature, which is known as sublimation. The child sometimes, instead of expressing his desire in action, may express it in a story or poetry, but this he gains control over his traumatic experience and fulfills his need for self-expression. A wishful thinking might be depicted in a novel which involves all the fantasies, wishes, and unfulfilled desires. Whenever life experiences induce frustration, writers put such feelings and disappointments in their creative work. The unconscious motives, feelings and emotions, joys and sorrows, frustrations and stresses and strains of life are depicted in the literary work. Poets and writers unconsciously project their motives, wishes and fantasies, thus giving a free expression to their repressed and suppressed urges and wishes through their literary work. However, it was not Freud who introduced unconscious motives to literature. Shakespeare, for instance, did not know a bit of psychology. But in his plays like Hamlet, Othello and Macbeth, we find the classical Oedipus tragedy, castration anxiety, repression and homosexuality. Gifted with his poetic genius, Shakespeare depicted them very subtly in Hamlet. So repression makes a considerable progress, as Hamlet cannot love Ophelia because he has mother fixation, the Oedipus complex. Held back by psychoanalytical angle, he cannot revenge his father, cannot fulfill the ghost's command to kill his stepfather, because murder of his father was a deed which Hamlet long harbored in his unconsciousness. He finds himself in a state of hesitation and confusion until it is too late and he lies dead on the stage. In many works of literature, latent homosexuality is also revealed. Novelists and playwrights sometimes present characters where many men value their best friend more than their wife. Psychoanalysis also reveals the element of excessive interest and admiration in one's personal appearance. Women of destructive beauty like Helen of Troy, Delilah and Cleopatra represent the dangerous woman of magnetic charm and appearance. Emile Zola's Nana or Shakespeare's Cressida are such women. French novelists like Martial and Maupassant have dealt with ambivalence and castration anxiety. In D.H. Lawrence's Sons and Lovers, we find a beautiful depiction of Oedipus complex and many other emotional excesses and complexes. Now, psychoanalysis, more than any other form of psychology, perceives that literature is deeply rooted in the unconscious depth of the writer. What a man has experienced earlier becomes not only the content of his dreams, but of his creative work as well. Shelley's secret relationship with men is well evident in his writings. In addition to the novels and dramas, analysis of the famous ancient mythologies indicates that the unconscious motivation, wishes and desires are expressed symbolically in their creative work. Freud thus found that, like art, literature is not free from the range of psychoanalysis because it also deals with the deeper aspects of human life. Psychoanalytical approach also recognizes a very significant factor in literature, which is known as dream work. A piece of literature is not only the symbol of one's unconscious motives, but also the expression of many socially undesirable wishes and fantasies that one has in dream. Psychoanalytical approach studies the underlying unconscious motive of the writer to find out what compels the writer to express himself in this manner. Analysis of literature from a psychoanalytical point of view indicates the writer's revolt by and large against the things that exist in the world. This is why T.S. Eliot wrote, "This is the way the world goes, this is the way the world goes, not with a bang, but a whimper." But why there is such an angry rejection of the world? It may be due to some traumatic experiences or some sense of insecurity and rude shock. The reason why some works of art and literature have received universal appeal is that they deal with common human conflicts expressed in a symbolic manner. The psychoanalytic approach in literature of Freud has a widespread significance. Since literature has been created by man, the basic human conflicts get full-fledged expression. The real significance of literature would not have come to surface if Freud would not have made people conscious about the symbolic representations of the writers, which reflect their basic conflicts and emotions. He deserves great deal for his deep insight into the field of literature and clear-cut analysis of the unconscious motives. So friends, here I come to the end of this topic, and if you subscribe to my channel, I promise that I'll be coming up with quality videos, the knowledgeable videos for you from time to time. Thank you.